I've had some pizza, I've had a bit of coffee, I've got some more water down there. Do you know what, boys?
I'm allergic to pizza.
I know you are. You're allergic to anything that has cow.
That is true.
And look at the draft phase. There is some stuff going on right now, Munchables.
There certainly is. No cows whatsoever, though. We've got Scudzy locking in the Nidalee. Furion basically saying to Scudzy, you know what? You reckon you've got a Lee Sin? I don't think so, buddy. I am Lee Sin.
He is Lee Sin. He is literally Lee Sin incarnate.
He's like, Lee Sin here, mate. Lee Sin
I wish I could analyse this game. I can't analyse League of Legends to begin with, but this is going to even go further down the drain, I think, for me. What I'm going to do through the entirety of this game is just shout things after Munchables has said them, and it will sound good.
I would prefer it if you did at least try to do
I'll prefer it if I did at least try. See?
to do analysis.
Analysis.
Analysis. That is going to be what's going on here in Champion Select, as you guys can quite clearly tell. But we do have a Braum, we've got a Syndra, we've got a Nidalee, we've got a Lee Sin, and we've got a Sivir. Is that actually going to be locked in? No, okay, I was going to say Talon, really? But Zed locked in once again for Zandia, so going aggressive in that mid lane against the Syndra.
I'm just going to go full British.
Well, it's not even tea, mate, it's coffee.
I know, but it tastes like...
Where's your monocle? Where's your pipe? Everyone has a pipe and a coffee at the same time.
Yeah, I know. I don't really have anything that could work, unfortunately.
All right. What do you reckon about this mid lane matchup, Kiernan? Zed versus Syndra. It's kind of the ultimate ZX Syndra. There's a comic and everything.
Yeah, I have read the comic, actually. It's not bad. This particular matchup... Now, Zandia obviously picked it into Brixton for a reason, you know? Like, he took it. I think even with Exhaust... Zed has the potential to win. I just think it's so tough pre-6 for Zed to actually have an impact. Even survive. Impact's the wrong word. To actually survive. And I think against Larson, you're going to get punished far heavier than you would be against Brixton. No offense to Brixton, but you know Larson is a god. And I think he's going to receive a huge amount of punishment pre-6 here. It's going to be the Karma locked in for Hado, and it's going to be Gnar with the Yasuo banned for only Angel.
Yeah, absolutely. So, an Angel going for that Gnar. Aurelia banned as well. So this is going to be an interesting one. Aurelia, Jace, and Yasuo all banned away. What do you even pick into the Gnar at this stage? So many top laners just taken out of the equation completely. My cable is actually doing my head in, so I'm just going to quickly sort this. Ex-Scoundrel, talk for a second.
So, it's a tough one to think about in the top lane now, because either do you go into someone that will do well against Gnar but may not have an impact, like, you know, or at least might not have less of an impact as the game goes on in terms of damage, like Kennen, or do you just go for a pure split pusher? You know, Fiora is open, you could potentially pick her. But when Gnar picks up the Frozen Mallet, Fiora becomes... Yeah, I mean, Kennen would have been my first thought here, given that we've seen Tolkien play it already. It has an okay laning phase versus Gnar. The issue is that as the game progresses, Kennen's damage output gets worse and worse the more health people get, because he's just very good at dealing with squishy targets, very good in mid-game fights, but the late game goes, he's more there to pick, and he's not going to have a massive team-wide damage impact. His split push will be okay versus Gnar, but his wave clear is just as bad, to be honest. So they're both of them will push waves at the snail's pace compared to what we've seen previously. And again, it's one of these kind of all-in compositions from XL. There's no one there to provide that backup in case things go wrong. It's we go ham or go home. And when you're at 2 AM in the morning or 1 AM in the morning, maybe it just is go ham, go home.
We've got a very similar kind of composition coming out from MNM as well. I think both of these teams are basically just saying, look, we're going to fight you and we'll see what happens. We're just going to take this straight into the combat. And Smiley actually going with the Sivir, so not too aggressive of an AD carry coming out from him, but Jokerism on that Lucian. Lucian Braum actually going to be the lane for the likes of XL, so they've pulled a bit of a blinder in that draft phase, but against a Sivir Karma, it's still going to be difficult to really achieve too much.
You're going to struggle versus Sivir Karma, and I really don't think you're going to be picking off any kills anytime soon. At least if you're trying to focus Sivir anyway. Maybe if you can do it against Karma, but it's a tough lane for Lucian Braum. It's not an all-in-all win. Scudzy's going to be on this Nidalee again. I maybe would have preferred him on the Lee Sin. I genuinely think you can have more impact as a Lee Sin that doesn't make you completely reliant on a damage output, for instance. The problem with Nidalee is she has one game mode, which is I rely on my damage output. Doesn't really have another game mode. She isn't impactful in any other way, shape or form. So Scudzy has to be hoping that he gets a blinding start again, otherwise you get to the point where Furion's going to be making very fancy plays across the map. And we've seen what Furion can do on Lee Sin as well.
Yeah, but you can guarantee Furion is not going to allow Scudzy to just walk away with the game like he did last time.
Sure.
Although I say that, they didn't even manage to win the game, even with Scudzy just storming the gates. And to be honest, I feel like that's at least in part due to the fact that Scudzy, while he did get a massive lead early on, he had all of his team's gold. There wasn't a spread across the team whatsoever. So it was like, if Scudzy did well in the fight, fantastic, you win the fight. But if not, the rest of the team just didn't have any follow-up.
I'm just going to include a tweet here that I've had with the hashtag ESL Prem.
I'm ready.
Not supporting a particular side to win this set, but just hoping for a 20-minute FF so the players can sleep. Excuse me, lads. What about us? We've been going a long time as well. We've been going longer than the players, technically, because we had to be here already on time.
It's true, but either way, I think everyone involved at this point is getting pretty sleepy. And I've got to say, I would not want to be playing under this situation where you're staying up until early in the morning, especially for the side of XL, who had to do a very long drawn-out best-of-3 before this series, and now going into another one against XL. Third game on the books right now sixth game in a row
on the road for XL. That's
third for MNM.
A long night of League of Legends right there.
Yeah, it certainly is.
They've been playing out of their minds though, and even if they lose this, Munchables, it will be a story I will remember for a very long time.
Yep, they will go down in my inner Hall of Fame that is my heart.
The inner Hall of Fame, and it just solidifies why I love XL. And then we can come to the Hearthstone tomorrow and see Hello Leroy dominate everybody. So go XL.
And then see Osher down
at
the bottom of the skull.
No, we don't talk about Osher. He's like the...
what a horrible thing to say about Osher. We don't talk about it.
He's like the cousin that sometimes you just kind of say...
Hey, Osher did awesome in the promotion tournament.
To be fair, I actually absolutely love Osher, and I think this week he's got a good chance of winning.
I hope so. Well, either way, enough about Hearthstone. League of Legends will be happening again on your screens very shortly, as we're going to be jumping into the final game of the night. We're getting beyond 1 AM at this stage, boys and girls, and
Trid has asked me to read his ESL Prem tweet, which I did retweet for, to be honest, but it was kind of maybe not appropriate for stream.
We'll probably not go for it then if it's not appropriate.
It's not awful. It's confirmed. I'm just going to say, instead of without the bullet points, I am lad positive. Show this tweet on stream. Hashtag ESL Prem.
Well, at least it's relevant to the game. So
at least it's relevant. He is UK lad positive.
Great stuff. Well, everyone's onto the map, so I believe we should be going onto the map as well. Let's head onto Summoner's Rift for the 6th and final time tonight. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. MNM up against XL Esports. This has been a ridiculous series so far, and we'll see what this final game has to behold.
Goodness me, Munchables. Not even this coffee is rousing me. But this game will.
Neck it, mate. Neck it.
I will attempt to neck this guy. I don't want to neck this coffee. It's black coffee.
It's really hot as well.
It's super black coffee. And I do like a bit of milk sometimes. So I'm sipping on it slowly ingesting caffeine into my system, so that when I finish this, I'll be so hyped that I can't sleep.
I've actually just got my coffee on an IV at this stage. Just gets to the bloodstream quicker.
I set it up for you, my friend.
That's true. Doctor in the house, boy.
No, never call me that again. It's a horrible, tarnished thing that I never want to be associated with.
All right, caster in the house, boy.
Yeah, that's
also could do
because I'm a full-time esports caster like my boy Munchables. Woo!
Yeah.
I feel like we're going super off track now.
Yeah, that was a bit weird. I think it was the cheer at the end that did it.
The woo girl thing at the end. Yeah, the woo girl. I know. Anyway, this is XL Esports with a chance to propel themselves into the top 4 of the UK League of Legends scene by getting to MCM Comic Con, and they've got Kennen to do it with in the top lane. Tolkien going up against Only Angel. What can Furion do here? Are we going to see a level 2 invade onto the Nidalee like he... this is some super intense action right now, Munchables. Just... Goodness me.
It's trying to be cinematic.
It's super cinematic, my friend. No, we're not going to see a level 2, but we are going to see a skip of the blue buff here for Furion. Maybe this means he goes for the blue buff, a rotation after taking his red, and try and catch out Scudzy there. That could be an option right now. Given that he's skipped his blue buff, he's either saving it for Larson or he's going to be taking his red and trying to catch out Scudzy at his blue.
I think you talk about the hyper-aggressive positioning that we just saw out of MNM. What was going on there, friend? Oh, actually, Jokerism going super aggressive on this one. Smiley incredibly low, and Haddo, actually, they're stacking up the concussive blows, but they can't quite go too deep on it in the end.
Yeah, actually, that was super aggressive positioning coming out from Smiley. Jokerism now level 2. No one wants to all in this particular situation. There is the spell shield for Sivir, so she can spell shield that concussive blows, and that should be okay. Go back to a status quo. Small CS advantage for Smiley, but you can see right now Zandia, exactly the same story in lane that he had versus Brixton, just it's such a difficult pre-6 lane matchup. Maybe post-6 you have the option to win, but you know, it's ridiculously hard to win a lane as Zed versus a Syndra.
Absolutely. Well, trying to get some damage down at very least. Nice little dodge there coming out from him, and he's going quite aggressive. Forces out the exhaust. What? The flash comes on through. Here comes Furion, though, and will be able to save his mid laner, but Scudzy is looking for the spear, misses it in the end, and Furion is actually going aggressive once more. 3 auto attacks, and it's almost half of Scudzy's HP. Crazy damage coming out from Furion early on.
I almost think that Scudzy could have just flashed and looked for the execute and then tried to get away as a second thought after that, but I guess he doesn't want to risk giving over a refresh of buffs to Furion. But my word, what an exchange of micro plays there for Zandia, but he was initially already on the back foot against Larson, and unfortunately, again, this lane is such a tough one for the Zed. Pre-6, you were just expecting this to happen. Looks like we've had heals galore come out in the bot lane, but Smiley still holds on to his.
Yeah, heals and both exhausts being used in the bottom lane there. And we're going to see Scudzy on his way down.
On his way down,
He's
boys.
Scudzing off down to the bottom lane. And here we go. Smiley going to be the first target, and I can't actually keep a Jody accent on the go, but the stun will come out onto Haddo, and this should be a kill. The flash, though, comes on out.
Scudzy didn't commit in Cougar form. Scudzy didn't commit in Cougar form there. He could have potentially jumped onto Smiley and then flashed out himself, but didn't do it. Just tried to burn the flashes as a resort. He has to now come back to make it worth it.
Absolutely. Well, spotted out by the ward as he leaves that lane, so they're going to know that they're safe. And MNM start things off right. They've got a bit of a lead for themselves to work with right now. And we'll see what they can achieve with this one, how they're going to snowball this one. Zandia, no flash available. And I think Furion is well aware of that fact. He's hanging around this mid lane and wants to make something aggressive happen. But I don't think that's something Zandia is going to allow to happen so easily.
Absolutely not. This is going to be a tough game for XL. They're already starting to be 1,000 gold behind just due to CS differences at this point in time. They're going to try and catch on to Smiley here. The flashes aren't available.
They certainly are. And oh, the smite spear doesn't quite connect from Scudzy. And actually, 2 versus 3. They're still going for this one. MNM trying to chase it down, but unfortunately, the Q with Mantra on it from Haddo does not connect. And that is going to be sad boys for MNM. They can't get the 2v3. They can push this wave under time. Absolutely.
More than sad boys right now for XL, though, who are forced back, and they're going to lose a lot of pressure on this mid lane tower. Zandia as well, not going to hit level 6 first either. That's the way he got that one up over Brixton in lane, and Larson will have that level 6 advantage. We'll be able to pressure Zandia under turret also. Just the threat of that ultimate coming through. This is very difficult for Zandia. Again, he's going to need that Hex Drinker realistically before... oh, actually, he dodges out the stun. That's pretty big. And Larson did take a tower shot, but Zandia's still not level 6.
Yeah, Furion, he knows he's just going to be hanging around here for basically all day long, because realistically right now, that's all he needs to do. Just keep Zandia under pressure, and this lead in the mid lane will continue to snowball in their favour. Look at the damage coming on down. We've got Scudzy nearby, but he's not that healthy himself, and this is not a 2v2 that they can go for right now. Zandia, though, finally level 6.
Finally level 6 has the outplay potential should that happen or come to it. Tolkien and Only Angel kind of trading blow for blow in this top lane as well. Neither of them getting...
Top lane is an island.
Top lane literally is an island, and in this sense is every sense of that word.
I gotta say, ever since like that meta is long gone, where top lane was just literally on your own all game, no ganks whatsoever. But It certainly feels that way in this game specifically, but huge CS lead being built in this mid lane right now by Larssen.
I fully expected it as well. Larssen punishing Zandia for the Z pick much more than Brixton was able to. And this is going to prove an issue, I think, for Zandia. He's going to need that Hex Drinker to be able to come through. Pause comes in. Munchable's head exploding.
Well, we have a pause. Boys and girls.
Why not, my friend? Why not?
Hey, we're unpausing again. It's fine.
We're unpausing already. Okay, here we go.
Into the game, so I'm not sure what that one was about. Maybe someone just needed to itch their forehead.
Sometimes it's just you just need to do it.
Yeah. I'm going to itch my forehead right now. Are you ready?
I'm ready. He's actually itching his forehead, oh my word.
Can you believe it?
I can't.
But I didn't pause the cast for it.
10 CS advantage over to XD Smiley as well. So MNM bringing out those big guns of the CS advantages.
When you said it then, I thought you were just going to leave it at that. Just like, 10 CS lead.
Nice.
Great stuff.
You just need to do the Family Guy nice thing. Nice. Nice.
Well, Smiley taking a little bit of damage here, but not quite as much as Jokerism and Orcs have been taking. And now Haddo and Smiley going to start to really layer this pressure onto the bottom lane tower. Look at that boomerang blade. Jokerism should know the power of that ability, the amount of Sivir he has played, but kind of playing into that one. And going on that side of the tower is always going to be tricky when you're against a Sivir, which plays into those skill shots. And a lot of pressure being put down in this bottom lane right now.
And Furion comes straight through level 6 against a level 4 of Orcs. Just had to escape from that turret, and it's going to be first brick. No Brixton Hamilton in this game, but first brick going down here for MNM. It's got to be really demoralizing for XL specifically that you came so close, and it just feels like it's slipping away.
Yeah, just about 3,000 gold lead already starting to build up for MNM right now. I am struggling to get hype, I'm not going to lie, guys. At this point in the night, I'm awfully tired. But here we go, Larssen. Does land the Scatter of the Week, but doesn't actually find the stun from it, and it's just about an even trade in the end between the mid laners. But here we go in the top lane, Tolkien in a bit of trouble. Only Angel jumps forward,
so
will
close.
flash for it in the end. But the minions, they might know. Megadar comes in. Whoo, last possible second right there. I think the cannon shot would have finished him if he hadn't had Meganar. Only Angel wins the 1v1 though.
Oh, I feel like another...
Oh, Larssen with the death mark onto him, but Zandia just gets kicked under tower. Feel the fury of Furion's heel right there.
Absolutely. Why not?
Why on earth not? Says Ex-Scoundrel.
But this is MNM turning the crank in sort of getting back to what we expect them to have done. I mean, yeah, literally that sound exactly. They're just simultaneously picking off lane after lane, making good rotations. They should be able to even potentially get this top lane tower. I don't even know if Orcs is going to get there in time.
You could say that right now MNM are doing an XL.
Yeah,
because this is what XL have been doing at the start of every other game in this series. Maybe that won't catch on, probably not. But
doing an XL.
Doing an XL. Either way though, MNM, they've managed to take the lead in this one. Scudzy hasn't had the same performance we've seen out of him, but Smiley is locked up, as is Jokerism. There's the exhaust, and Furion's arrived on the scene. This spear doesn't quite land, but Smiley's so low. There's the heal. The auto attacks don't quite connect. Orcs just about survives, but Furion is looking for the dive at this rate. Orcs is in trouble. He goes down, flashes into the rest of his team though, but Furion's locked up on the tower. 1-for-1 here. And it is going to be Scudzy grabbing that kill for the side of XL, but Jokerism is going to get chased down right now because the mid laners are arriving. Larssen looking for the kill. Scudzy falls to the hands of the Syndra.
And Zandia didn't make the rotation there. He's still in the mid lane. And it's going to be another turret going down for MNM, and they'll get a 2-turret advantage. They'll rack it up to a 4k gold lead. And it doesn't even look like Tolkien can get much pressure. He's going to try and put some pressure onto only Angel, but that is just not enough at this point in time.
No, unfortunately not. That mid lane wave is going to be pushed into the tower, but can't really achieve too much. Zandia actually looking to rotate down to this bottom lane at the moment. Maybe he'll be able... Maybe he will be able to get a bit of a dive going on Slicing Maelstrom is available. Only Angel not got Meganar right now. There's the Deathmark. Look at the damage coming on through. Tolkien is the one to grab the kill credit. And a much needed kill coming through right there for Excel, because they are 4,000 gold down right now. And to be honest, they're looking for anything that MNM will let them have.
Absolutely. Tolkien, with that advantage, might be able to push into this this bot lane tier 1, but this is going to be a lot of pressure now going on to mid lane tier 1, and everyone is out of sorts for Excel, and they're going to lose this mid lane tier 1 again. Another big gold advantage going down the drain here for Excel.
It certainly was. And now they just continue the siege in this mid lane as well. You've got Jokerism pushing in the top lane, but you can't afford to have split pushes when there's just this huge siege going on in the mid lane. They might just lose this tower at this rate. Larson continuing to try and chunk this one out, but look at the spear from Scudzy doing so much to the enemy mid laner. Larson does get away with things though, so will survive. They don't quite get the tier 2 tower.
No, but XL need to get a tower on board if they want to have any chance of keeping themselves within this. But with the Sivir there, with the Syndra, the wave push and wave clear is just so good from MNM that I don't know many ways that XL are going to find an opportunity to do so. Now they can even try and consolidate on Dragon with this gold advantage that they have.
Absolutely. Well, Cloud Drake is going to be the call here for the likes of MNM, able to grab that objective basically for free. No reason not to take it at this point in the game when you're in the driving seat. That's just going to be a nice little bit of out-of-combat movement speed. And here goes Smiley on the hunt. Procced here. Zandir uses his Living Shadow, but he does still have Flash. Has to use it immediately. So much damage goes onto him. And Furion looking to finish him off. Does have Dragon Rage if he wants to finish it, but does not want to follow that kill on in. The Ignite, I think, was enough to deter him in the end. But up in the top lane, if I can find the Keybind, is going to be Larson finding a solo kill onto Jokerism.
XL look like they're breaking apart at the seams right now. The ability to get so close that last game and come, literally so close to getting to MCM and now falling so far, you just feel like they're emotionally drained, motivationally drained, and the clinical performance that MNM usually have is just rigorously trained into them, is bringing back the chances for MNM to go straight over to MCM. But XL, they need to find some way to get a turret here. They need to find a way to put some pressure on without isolating Jokerism, without isolating somebody who can't look after themselves. It just doesn't feel like it's going to happen, especially with this Zed, especially with this tier 2 mid lane turret going down as well. 6k gold advantage at 14 minutes. Everybody really under the thumb right now of MNM.
Absolutely. Furion going to be able to clear away some extra jungle as well as they begin the siege on this top lane tier 2. To be quite honest, right now, this is the matchup that we were expecting moving into today. But from now on, I will expect no short feet from XL in future games. I fully expect them to be doing fantastic things. And I wouldn't be surprised to see them going to Comic-Con regardless of whether they win this matchup here tonight. They certainly look like they have grown so much as a team over the last few weeks.
They're going to have to fight up against Sensei again, and honestly XL didn't look on form against Sensei, so you see that the many-faced god of XL, it's this literal godlike plays. Oh, actually, this is going to be Scudzy.
Has gone super deep. Doesn't quite finish off. The exhaust ruins his day. And actually, Furion goes back on in just to get the style points right there. Will grab himself a kill. Bad news for Scudzy. And it is bad news for XL Esports. I was about to say, just before that play happened, XL, they're not too far behind. Maybe they can pull themselves back in. But right now, 6,000 gold in favor of MNM at 15 minutes. This is not looking fantastic.
I mean, the players are going to be tired.
Yeah.
That everybody, especially XL, who have played 6 hours worth of games almost on back-to-back.
And I mean, this is one of the things, right? You mentioned how, obviously, XL are going to be tired. They have played 6 games, but I'm certain that the likes of MNM will have been playing warm-up games beforehand.
Exactly.
They'll have been playing League of Legends all day.
They'll have been awake the entire day, right?
Exactly. They're still tired too, but this is the experience of the lineup, right?
Sure.
This has been a team, aside from the top laner, together for a very long time. They are consistent. They are a very, very strong squad. And you expect them, when it comes to this kind of late night, when it comes to the games that really go on and kind of drain you physically and mentally, you expect a lineup like MNM to be able to weather the storm and just keep on consistently playing well.
We've got some more interest, by the way. People still up watching. Looks like Smiley's going to be focused.
Does get a flash away, though, and will be able to survive with his life. So bad news for Tolkien, unfortunately. It's going to be both summoners, though. As Furion and Larson push on out this bottom lane, they're going to be able to grab that tower basically for free, and there's nothing that Zandia can do about it. It's actually going to go in onto Larson. Manages to dodge the ultimate. Really nice bit of mechanics coming out from Zandia, but the Zondias will block out that Deathmark. Jokerism will be able to get the kill in the end. Zandia survives. Jokerism, though, is going to get taken on out. Furion showing off his Lee Sin mechanics right there, and there's nothing Zandia can do to save his AD carry. Look at this Sonic Wave coming on in. Zandia just about survives with his life. Furion, he's gone too deep, though. The spear doesn't quite connect, but the stun will, and Scudzy will catch up. There's a knock-up just to finish things off, and there we have it. But in the meantime, let's take a look at what the rest of MNM are doing. They're heading over towards this Rift Herald to grab themselves an objective.
Don't think that'll be a play that Jokerism puts on one of his highlight reels for himself, I'm afraid. But it was, again, just Furion. Insane play, and Furion had a great little run there, but I've got to give credit to Zandia. That was some insane Zed mechanics. Firstly, dodges the Lee Sin through the Shadow Dash. Secondly, dodges the Unleashed Power, or Unlimitless Power, from the Syndra by using the ultimate. Puts enough pressure to try and get the kill, and then jumps back when he's at threat from Lee Sin taking him out on the side. It was just a really nice little bit of play from Zandia. But he has to kind of do that 5, 6, 7 more times to give XL a fighting chance.
Yeah, he certainly will. But I believe in Zandia. But I've got to say right now, it's still going to be an incredibly difficult challenge for him. 18 minutes in the game, though. And to be honest, XL, they've not allowed this gold lead to get any bigger right now, which is the important thing for them, just to stay even in this game. But when you look at the compositions, I think at the later the game gets, I start to favour MNM a little bit more, but Tolkien has been caught out, and I don't think he's going to get away with this one. Slicing Maelstrom comes through. Look at the damage actually going on to Smiley, and Tolkien walks away with his life. Orcs will arrive, blocks the damage coming on through. Sonic Wave doesn't quite connect, and there's an exhaust. Furion actually taking huge amounts of damage. Jokerism going so aggressive for this one, but Haddo has to flash away. What a play coming out from XL, keeping their team alive. But it's in exchange for a top lane tier 2 tower. Scudsy's stunned away. They are going to back off. Winter's Bite onto Larson. They're still chasing for this one. They don't want to allow this to go for nothing. And here comes Tolkien on the flank. He's teleported on in from base. Jokerism in trouble, though. There is going to be Larson sweeping this fight up. Zhonya's comes into play. He will be finished off, but he's going to be happy with that kill, no less. In the meantime, Tolkien cannot find his targets, and it is going to be 1-for-1 all in all, but the tier 2 goes the way of MNM.
Yeah, again, it's another net advantage. Haddo managing to escape with a sliver of life here. Furion still sticking around, just seeing if he can get anything done, but won't be the case for him. He's just going to clear out that pink ward. It's still a massive turret disadvantage to climb back for XL. If they get every single turret, they may be even on gold, but they are just going to lose another dragon as well, because all of that happening in the top lane, only Angel was able to just walk in and put pressure in the bot lane.
They certainly are, and all of the tier 2's gone now, unless there's a mid lane one, which there isn't, so my statement was correct. And it's just a single tower that has been taken for the side of XL, and I'd say that's a fair chunk of the gold lead that is going the way of MNM right now. In the meantime, though, there is a fight going on, and Smiley's been caught out, so nice little pickup there for the likes of Tolkien. He's grabbed himself a second kill. He's looking towards his Zhonya's, so he's going to be pretty happy with that little pickup that he's found himself. And now this mid lane tower is in a little bit of trouble. Haddo needs to get on out of here. This is not a situation you want to stick around for, my friend. And that is going to be going down. Or is it? Jokerism trying to finish things. Furion kicks away his teammate in Scudzy. Managed to hold on to this mid lane tower. In the meantime, though, yeah, whatever his name is, Zandia is going to be able to go for that split push. Deathmark goes down onto only Angel. Oh, Zandia still layering on the pressure.
Absolutely. This is actually XL starting to regain some momentum here. Things are not all lost. They can put a lot of pressure onto this mid lane turret. Scudzy's going to take away this red buff.
Yeah, we're not going to see the follow-up on that Sonic Wave either. So Scudsy walking away with his life and with his dignity on this one. But what a flash forward coming out from Zandia. Bit too aggressive though. Will be punished for that one and taken down. So I guess worth kind of if you're really needing gold that badly. But
it's allowed Tolkien to pick up another kill onto XD Smiley and get the mid lane turret, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. So opening up opportunities for his team. The bottom lane tower goes down as well. And actually, XL, they've closed the goal gap just a little bit more. 3,000 is the difference right now. 22 minutes in the game. XL, they're finding their way back in. They're
finding their feet here. They're trying to go for that split push strategy again with the Kennen in replacement of the Yasuo. And Zandia is going to try and take on a split push role himself as well.
Yeah, he certainly will. Scudsy just charging around the map, clearing away the jungle. Slauson will steal away his Razor Chickens. But all in all, across the board, still the favour going the way of MNM. However, once again, we're looking in the eyes of Scudsy because he has 50 CS ahead of Furion right now. Furion has been all about those ganks, but he's still falling behind in gold against his jungle opponent. Scudsy has been a standout player for XL in this series.
Scudzy has been fantastic, as has Tolkien, to be honest. I think some people have had off games for both sides, to be honest. I actually think both AD carries have had games where, apart from that Jhin game for XD Smiley, they feel like they probably, when they reflect, would feel like they would have performed better. But again, it comes down to who performs on the night, and Scudsy has been amazing, as has Tolkien, as has Larson on most occasions. And
yeah,
I'm just going to steal a generic caffeinated beverage from my production manager.
Burps Inc., guys.
Would you like
Burps
some generic caffeinated beverage, Joe?
I'm okay, thank you, friend, but I appreciate the offer. That's how I know that you're a true friend.
We're friends for life, my buddy.
Better be. Came to your wedding after all.
Lol.
Well, speaking of weddings, it is going to be XL versus MNM here. And we'll see who's going to be able to continue to win this game out. MNM still with the lead at the moment.
Sona is a good wife, by the way.
Hmm?
Sona is a good wife, by the way. He's beautiful.
To be honest, it was a beautiful ceremony between the two of you.
I wonder if he's even watching. I doubt it.
To be honest, it is like 1:30, right? So I won't be offended if he's not. At this point, everyone who is still watching, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Obviously, this has been a long one, and we truly appreciate that you guys are sticking around and you want to see who's going to be qualifying for Comic-Con. Let's remember, this is the final game in a best-of-3 between these two teams, but also it is a qualification match. Whoever wins this one will be joining us for the finals at the end of October. And XL, they are not looking to let that escape from them easily. Scudsy's been found out by Furion with a blind Sonic Wave going into the bush right there. But look at this flank coming on through, slicing Maelstrom. Smiley's in trouble. Can they finish him off? The Deathmark actually goes in onto the mid laner instead. They've managed to pick up a kill. It's only one, but what can they do with it? Only Angel coming in from the side now, as we've actually got the chase going down. They're trying to finish him off. Larson actually still surviving. It was Hadder that went down earlier. Larson desperately trying to escape with his life. The spear narrowly misses him, but he still has a lot of damage. Orcs actually eats up the ultimate, and that is going to be Larson go down in the end. Look at this damage coming out onto Furion. Scudsy trying to finish off his opposing jungler and will get the execute in the end. The team fight goes the way of XL 3-0.
Wow, and that was an amazing flank by Tolkien. The thing about Tolkien playing Kennen compared to a Gnar is you can have an instantaneous impact whatever situation you're in as long as that ultimate is available. And honestly, he's been absolutely dumpstering Smiley. Every single time that he comes in from the backside, he's just... I'm going to rephrase that. Every single time he comes in from the side, he essentially just pops that ultimate. Smiley obviously can't spell shield all of it, and just layer cakes damage down onto him. Yeah. It's still that Smiley's still somehow found an advantage over Jokerism, by the way. He's got an entire BF sword over him, so keep an eye on that, because that could be a defining factor. Sivir with 3 items is incredibly scary.
Yeah. Not quite as scary as a night out with Ex-Scoundrel, but still a terrifying feat no less. And actually, looking across the scoreboard at where the kills are distributed right now, it's actually an incredibly close game. You've got mid laners both 4 kills apiece and 3 and 4 assists, and then the junglers as well, 4 and 2 and 4 and 3. So incredibly close between these squads. And XL, you know, I thought they were falling so far behind early on. I was so sure that it was just going to be MNM kind of pulling themselves together and taking this series, but XL, they are not done just yet. They've pulled themselves back into this matchup, and honestly, this is on a knife's edge. This could go either way, absolutely any moment.
Absolutely, but XL have found some confidence now. Remember, Zandia is split pushing here. He doesn't have teleport, so this is a risky game for XL to be playing.
Scudzy does get kicked back, but he will be able to join his team once again. Culling comes on through, but the health bars are starting to get low. Only Angel trying to get into the backline. Tolkien incredibly low, does get slowed. Hextech Belt has to come on into play, but Tolkien will be shut down. Meganar comes on through. The slow lands onto Jokerism. There's the Sonic Wave, there's the Wallop, and there's the Gnar to finish things off. Furion gets the kill credit, but it's 2 kills for nothing in favor of MNM, and they look towards this mid lane inhibitor.
I don't know what XL were thinking there. Why send everybody aggressively mid when Zandia shows top and he has no way of getting towards the team fight? I feel like that was a mistake. That mistake could cost them a place at MCM.
Absolutely could. The inhibitor going to go down, but MNM not willing to overcommit to anything right now. They know that the death timers are not long enough to push for the finish with 3 players up as well. But the Baron, now that's something that they could think about entertaining right now, and they go straight for it. Furion jumps on first. Larson just waiting in the wings. He wants to get an assassination onto someone if he can find the opportunity. Orcs walking forwards, does spot him out, but the Baron getting incredibly low. There are players nearby, but it is going to get smited away by Furion. So MNM secure that massive objective for themselves. Scudzy solo, but actually jumps in. 1v1's the enemy mid laner. Scudzy has been a stellar player in this series, but it might just be too little too late. A single kill for a Baron is not going to be worth it.
No, absolutely not. The Baron is a huge power play here. Haven't actually extended the gold lead to unmanageable amounts for XL. But that mid lane inhibitor going down would be a huge blow for them. They've got to be looking back at that play and feeling quite salty about everything that they managed to lose because they were aggressive in the mid lane, with Zandia having shown in the top lane as well. Need to continue the split push, but it's hard when you've got to siege against this mid lane inhibitor. There's nothing left for MNM to take in the mid lane, so if you split push, you're going to be split pushing into probably the majority of the MNM squad.
Absolutely. Well, where do you go from here for XL? You've now lost an inhibitor. They've also got the Baron. There is so much pressure about to be pushed on into your face. But what are they going to do about this one? How do they pull themselves back in? Jokerism so far 0 and 4 in this game. Really struggling to have an impact. And to be honest, I think a lot of this is going to be on Tolkien's shoulders, despite it being Scudzy and Zandia that have really managed to keep their team in the game. If Tolkien can get a fantastic flank, his teleport's just come off cooldown, he has Slicing Maelstrom available. If he can go in and get those stuns, that is going to be all XL need to win a fight.
But it's about getting that flank. And even if he gets that flank, I don't know how impactful it's going to be. Just because of, you know, getting to the point where Sivir's got a lot of damage on herself. There's Zhonya's and GA built up. It has to be an absolutely insane flank. Jokerism, though.
Rip.
Rip.
That is going to be the end of Jokerism, and it might well be the end of this bottom lane tower as well. Ultimate burned for the likes of Larson, but I don't think he minds all too much. Fury going super deep on this one, but he's tanky enough to not mind taking a little bit of damage, and it just forces the team of XL away from this tower. Here we go, Sivir ultimate going to be used on the hunt right now as Fury jumps forward to kick back Orcs, has to flash straight on out of there. But the pressure alone is more than enough. Smiley was smashing away at the tower the entire time. And now the super minions are pushing through the mid lane right now with Baron buff on top of everything. MNM are looking to finish out this series. Tolkien just completely denied on the engage. Zhonya's comes on through, but the Slicing Maelstrom is not going to do it. Only Angel with a fantastic Nara ultimate coming on through. That is going to be Smiley grabbing a kill. Gets a triple for himself as well to boot. This is going to be the Nexus going on down. 17-13 is the final score. Ladies and gentlemen, after an insane series between these two teams, MNM managed to take the map against XL Esports, and they secured their spot at Comic-Con.
Goodness gracious, XL must be in shatters after what was an amazing sets of games from them, but congratulations to M&M, well deserved after that final performance here. They can all go to bed knowing that they are going to be secured in that spot at MCM, and XL will have to come back next week for their chance to fight the winners of Sensei and Batman Begins. Batman Begins.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be an interesting week next week now that M&M have moved on to Comic-Con, and I've got to say, I'm actually heartbroken for XL after that series. That was so close.
There was one play, it was that play where Azandia showed top and then they pushed up the mid lane with no vision. It single-handedly lost them the game. Jokerism, definitely, you could see how tired he was getting during the series, got caught out at the end there. Honestly, it was a difficult series for XL. I can't believe they came that close, but you imagine if they play like that next week, there's only one outcome. They go to Comic-Con, but they just have to prove it now. And it also means they're going to play against Last Remedy if they qualify. M&M have already secured TCA.
Yeah, and I've got to say, if I'm Last Remedy right now, I'm kind of licking my lips, because this looks like an incredibly close group, and when you're Last Remedy basically just waltz their way into Comic-Con slots. So, you know, they could be looking like a dominant force moving into the playoffs. We'll have